Thank you so much for joining us for this breaking news update. I'm Whitney Sullivan. Right now, the South Carolina Department of Public Safety holding a press conference to address the recent string of troopers being hit by vehicles during traffic stops. Our team is there now at the department headquarters. Let's check in.
Last month or so. While performing their duties, we greatly appreciate y'all coming. Thank you for being here. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our partners with DOT. They're here representative as well. And for having their digital message boards available to us this week to promote our enforcement campaign that we're going to talk about here this morning. I'd also like to welcome several chiefs, sheriffs, and other law enforcement officers, and I sort of alluded to that just then. I had a list of 4 or 5 I was going to introduce, but I think that list has grown so long I won't be able to do that. Thank you all for being here. That's a strong show of support. I also want to extend a special welcome to the families of 2 of our fallen troopers, Lois Rayo, who lost her son in 2002, and Jade Ricks, who lost her husband just last month. While I know your attendance today may be difficult, we are grateful to have you here with us today. That shows the personal impact of what we're talking about today. Every day, countless motorists come within inches of hitting law enforcement officers who are conducting traffic stops, first responders working collisions, and DOT SHEP workers assisting motorists without the slightest attempt to move over or slow down. At least 7 troopers seen on this wall behind me were victims of either inside the car or outside the car and were struck by passing motorists. That does not include the many names of those injured and the untold names of those that were near misses that we see every day. We are here to say enough is enough. Here's the lineup of the speakers for this morning. They will come up in succession and without further introduction. Colonel Christopher Williamson, the commander of the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott, speaking on behalf of the South Carolina Sheriff's Association. Myrtle Beach Police Chief Dana Crowell, speaking on behalf of the South Carolina Police Chiefs Association. And finally, Ms. Lois Rayo, mother of fallen trooper Michael Rayo, who was hit and killed in the line of duty. Again, thank you for being here with us today. Colonel Williamson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chief Oliver. I want to thank you all for being here today to help us sound the alarm about a disturbing trend that is injuring and killing our courageous public servants. In less than 1 month, we have had 3 South Carolina Highway Patrol troopers injured or killed while working outside of their vehicles on the roadside with blue lights flashing. As most of you are aware by now, Trooper First Class Dennis Ricks was struck by a vehicle during a traffic stop on I-26 in Orangeburg County on August 10th and died approximately 4 days later. Then on September the 7th, Senior Trooper Mitchell Williams Jr. was struck during a traffic stop on I-77 in Richland County, and he's recovering at home as we speak. And just over 48 hours later on September the 9th, Master Trooper Wayne Labonte was struck during a traffic stop on US 1 in Lexington County and is still in the hospital after receiving severe injuries. Since these all are pending investigations, I cannot comment on specifics of the cases. However, there's one thing that I can comment on clearly. It's not getting through to drivers on our road, and that is the need to pay attention, slow down, and move over when you see emergency lights ahead. Working on the side of the road is dangerous work. But we, as law enforcement officers, first responders, DOT workers, and tow truck drivers, understand what we sign up for. But what we didn't sign up for is a blatant disregard for our safety that seems to be running rampant. There's only so much our troopers can do to control the conditions and environment on the side of an interstate with vehicles flying by at speeds often higher than the posted speed limits. At some point, the issue of safety is no longer in their hands and instead is in the hands of the people driving on our roadways. I know I'm not alone when I say it seems like people just don't care. They can't be bothered to move over for first responders or highway workers who are on the shoulder. They can't be bothered to slow down and allow someone to merge onto the interstate in front of them. And they definitely can't be bothered to put down the phone and just focus on the important and dangerous privilege that driving a 3,000-pound vehicle requires. I don't know how to get through to people to care about what's going on outside of their phones, their own vehicles, and their own world. But I do know that their lack of attention, their lack of good judgment, and their lack of regard for other human lives has got to stop. As Chief Oliver said, from the law enforcement community and the people standing behind me and with me today, enough is enough. That is why today we are announcing the beginning of a week-long enforcement initiative called Operation Keep Us Safe. For the next 5 days, I am instructing all of our troopers to be extremely vigilant and pulling over people when they choose to violate the move-over law and the hands-free law. And I've also asked all 46 county sheriffs and all police chiefs in South Carolina to join us in sending a strong message this week. Move over or pay the consequences. It's really just that simple. I want to say a sincere thank you to all of my brothers and sisters in law enforcement who have rallied around the Highway Patrol in what has been a very difficult month for us. A special thank you for the last 30 days to the 3 sheriffs who have done an outstanding job investigating our collisions. Sheriff Ravenel in Orangeburg, Sheriff Kuhn in Lexington, and Sheriff Leon Lott of Richland. I want to thank you all for showing up and supporting Trooper Rick's wife, Jade, who's here with us today as well. And I thank you for your support of Operation Keep Us Safe, because this is more than just trooper safety. This is about keeping all first responders safe as we work to simply provide for our families. That's what we do. We just simply work to provide for our families. Let me be clear. This enforcement initiative is not a knee-jerk reaction to 3 isolated incidents. In June of this year, 2 of our troopers was nearly hit in separate incidents 10 days apart while conducting traffic stops on the interstate. In addition to them, several of the troopers you see standing up here with me right now had lived to tell the tale of being hit and injured while on the job. And I tell you, they're standing here today with fire in their hearts to make a difference so that the same thing would not happen to their co-workers. In just a moment, you will hear from Sheriff Leon Lott of Richland County and Chief Dana Kroll of North Myrtle Beach Police Department, along with Ms. Rayo, whose son Mike Rayo, a former trooper who lost his life, and his picture's on this wall right behind me. He lost his life because some driver drove in the same irresponsible manner as others have done in the last 30 days. Also joining us today is Trooper Devin Kugler, as I asked him to step forward to be seen, who was critically injured and fought for his way back for more than a year to stand here today and to be able to place this uniform on to continue his service not only to the Highway Patrol, but to the citizens of South Carolina. Kugler, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. Before I bring up Sheriff Lott, I just want to say one last thing to the motoring public. These men and women you see up here and on the side of your communities, they live in your neighborhoods. They are members of your churches, and their kids go to school with your kids. Simply said, they are people just like you. Our troopers and officers work hard every day to keep our roadways safe so that you can make it home safely to your families. So I plead with you from the bottom of my heart in asking you to do the same and do your part to make sure these officers make it home safe to their families. And doing your part, remember these things. This is what you can do. The motoring public, first of all, put down the cell phones. Once you put down the cell phones, secondly, pay attention to the roadways. Third, slow down. Fourth, do not forget to move over when you see flashing lights. Thank you. I now would like to ask Sheriff Leon Lott to come forward and say a few words. Followed by him will be our police chief, Dana Kroll of the North Myrtle Beach Police Department. Sheriff.
I stand here representing the 46 sheriffs in the state of South Carolina. Now, this is very simple. It's not complicated at all. see emergency service vehicle on the side of the road with its lights on, slow down and move over. It's that simple. Slow down, move over. We see it every single day. People just do not pay attention, and they place these men and women who are out here working life in jeopardy. Yeah, there's a slogan I think we've heard for many, many years. Let them work, let them live. We all need to follow that. They're out there working. Let's let them live. We don't want to put another picture on the wall behind me with a trooper or any memorial wall from anywhere whatsoever. Now, and we can prevent that. That's all of us can prevent that. Now, we wrote our first ticket this weekend for somebody who did not move over. My wish would be that when judges have these violators appear before them, they don't give them a fine. They make them go stand on the side of the interstate with a sign that says, "I'm stupid," and let them stand there for about 4 hours as cars go by about 80 miles an hour within inches of them, and let them see how it feels. Then maybe the word will get out. It's real simple. See emergency vehicle, the lights on, slow down, move over.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I'm here today to represent my fellow chiefs from across the state of South Carolina in standing in solidarity with our state partners, our sheriffs, all first responders, our firefighters, our tow truck drivers, everyone that's working on the side of the road. Like Sheriff Lott said, it is very simple to adhere to our South Carolina move over law. If you see flashing lights on the shoulder of the road, slow down, safely pull over to provide a safe working space for our first responders. I just want to say thank you for all of you for being here today to help get our message out for our first responders so that they can make it home safely every night. Thank you.
Just so you see them. Good morning. If you haven't heard already, my name is Lois Rayo. I'm the surviving mother of Senior Trooper Michael J. Rayo, who was struck by a distracted driver on Interstate 95 in Clarendon County on June 10th, 2002. 3 recent incidents involving our South Carolina troopers, one of which sadly resulted in the death of Trooper Dennis Ricks on August 13th. Thank goodness for the 2 other troopers who are anticipated to recover from their injuries with surgeries, therapy, rest, and time. At the time of Mike's accident, it was 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. Our son had stopped on Interstate 95, mile marker 125 on the southbound side, to assist a stranded motorist with a young family standing there. He engaged his lights according to protocol for this type of incident. Hundreds of law enforcement officers turn their lights on many times during the day, and for many reasons. EMTs and firefighters follow the same procedures. The purpose of these blue or red lights is to alert travelers on the roadways to slow down and move over, to allow those first responders to do their job. On that faithful June 10th, one driver did not attention to those flashing blue lights on Mike's cruiser. Instead of moving over, he aimed for the blue lights, struck Mike and his cruiser going 81 miles an hour. And for 2 long days, Mike fought for his life and succumbed to those injuries on June the 12th. We had the unfathomable task of burying our son on Father's Day, 2002. Mike was 33 and a loving husband with one young 2-year-old daughter. Our daughter lost her only sibling at the hands of a driver who did not move over. As you can see, our lives changed forever at 8:10 on that Monday morning. The move over law does save lives. Do not subject another mother to bury her son. Please move over. Thank you.
Thank you to all the speakers that was here today. Thank you for joining us, to all law enforcement who stand with me today. Thank you to the media for allowing us to, assisting us in getting our message out. We truly appreciate it. At this time, we will not take any questions, but everybody here will be available for separate interviews if you wish to do that. So we'll take interviews at this time if you wish to do that. That concludes our message. Interviews will be set up outside. Thank you.
Well, that was Colonel Christopher Williamson, the South Carolina Highway Patrol commander, wrapping up that press conference. Again, this was about the recent incidents that we have seen with troopers being hit on the side of the road. The unfortunate fact of this is that it isn't just something that's been happening a lot recently, but it's something that has been happening for years now. In fact, we were able to just now hear from the mother of a fallen trooper, Mike Rowe, who was hit and killed in Clarendon County. Now, they have a simple message, and they say the answer to this problem is very simple. They say put up your cell phones. They want you to pay attention. They also want you to slow down on the roads and move over. There is specifically a move over law in South Carolina that requires you to move over when there's an emergency vehicle on the side of the road. However, what they're saying is that is not happening. One of the things that Colonel Williamson said was he was like, I don't know how to get people to realize that their phone is not more important than somebody's life. But he said, you know, again, enough is enough, echoing that from Chief Michael Oliver of the Department of Public Safety. Now, one of the things that we also learned in this press conference is that over the next 5 days, we will be under Operation Keep Us Safe, where we will be seeing a lot more troopers out on the road. Colonel Williamson saying that he has told his troopers to be vigilant for pulling people over who are not following the hands-free law or the move over law. Again, that's going to be happening the next 5 days. And one of the reasons for that is in 2 months, we've seen 7 troopers who have been hit on the job, 7 troopers who have been hit on the job. And so this is something that they're wanting to do in order to really get the point across that people just have to be careful and mindful of folks who are on the road. And we're not just talking about law enforcement personnel. We're talking about people who work with the city, people who work with the county, anybody who's on the side of the road. They're asking everybody to be safe. Now, we also heard from long-term Sheriff Leon Lott of Richland County, who says he is standing behind the Department of Public Safety and troopers when it comes to this. And he said, let them work, let them live. If you remember, that was a huge slogan back in the day when it comes to protecting people on the side of the road, law enforcement, construction crews, you name it. And so he said, again, we need to bring that back. Let them work and let them live. We also were again able to hear from the mother of a fallen trooper, Mike Rowe, who was able to really paint the picture of the fact that this doesn't just end once that crash or that hit happens, but it impacts families for generations to come. She explained that she lost her son about 23 years ago when he was hit by a driver in Clarendon County, and explaining how unfathomable that tragedy is and how her granddaughter is growing up without her father. Now, one of the things that we also learned is that Trooper Dennis Rick's wife is there. He was one of the 3 troopers that was hit, and sadly his it was a fatal collision, and he did not make it, but his wife was there in support. And we've also learned that Trooper LaWayne Bounty, we've been covering his story for a while, as we know he was hit as well, and we have been told that he is still in the hospital and in serious condition. Again, really reiterating how serious and deadly these accidents can be. And so the biggest message from this was, hey, pay attention, slow down, move over, and do not be on your phones. Again, we will see an increase of traffic stops. I do want to correct myself. So there have been 3 people hit in the past 5 months, but the 7 number, that comes from all of the highway patrolmen who were standing behind the dignitaries as they were coming to the speaker. They represented people who have been hit by a car while on duty, but were able to survive and tell the story of just how tragic these type of things can be. Now, of course, News 19 has a team there, as you can see, and we will continue to bring you the very latest on air and online at WLTX.com. Thank you so much for joining us for this breaking news update. I'm Whitney Sullivan.